Hi everyone. Okay, so welcome back again. Today we're going to be talking about some ed tech tools that we are going to be using in our classroom. Yay! When I talk about ed tech tools, I'm talking about what you could use to make your classes come to life, okay, or come alive. That's the word I want to use. So what you could use to make your classes come alive. You have limited time with the students. How do you make your classes interesting? What do you use to teach? How do you connect to these learners? What do you use to communicate with them and all of that? So today we're going to be looking at the tools that you would need to do that. Just in case this is your first time here, my name is Miss B and this is I Teach with Miss B. Okay? Now moving forward. Now we're going to be talking about the first tool, which is your Zoom. Okay. I know we have other ones like the Google Meet, we have the Microsoft Teams, we also have VooV, but I usually use Zoom a lot because Zoom is quite flexible and they have the interactive whiteboard, they have the ability to share screen, they have the ability to accommodate more people or more learners as the case may be. However, the con of using Zoom is that if you're not using the pro version, you have only 40 minutes. It doesn't have up to 1 hour. You have only 40 minutes. So the class is going to end once the 40 minutes time has elapsed, and then maybe you have to start up fresh again. And most parents do not really like that inconsistency. So because of the inconsistency, what we usually do is we just do subscribe to Zoom. I think it was 6,000 naira, but now they've increased their tariff to like 20 something thousand, almost 30,000 naira. So you could see it's like 5 times more or 4 times more from the previous price. But I can assure you it's a tool that you will also enjoy because of the different features in Zoom. Also, you could use Google Meet. Google Meet is also accessible, but there are some tools that you could find in Zoom that you will not find in Google Meet, and it's easier to navigate Zoom than navigating Google Meet. Again, I want to introduce VooV. VooV is a Chinese, is made by the Chinese, yes, and it's just like Zoom. VooV, I'm going to put the logo up there. It's VOOV. It's just like Zoom. Now, it is free. One on one, free for like 3 hours. But if you're having a group class, that's when you need to upgrade and pay for the pro version. Okay. But if you're doing one-on-one interaction or one-on-one class, you could have your class as long as 3 hours without any breakage, unlike Zoom, where if you're not using the pro version, you have to break after 40 minutes. That's the first one. Now, the second interactive tool I want to talk about is your Microsoft OneBoard. Okay, OneNote rather. OneNote is a whiteboard app. Okay, we have other ones like Miro, Kami, and all the rest. But I usually use or I would recommend Microsoft OneNote. Now, before we started using Microsoft OneNote, before I started using Microsoft OneNote, we were using Google Jamboard. But when Google Jamboard came to a close, we then embrace the use of Microsoft OneNote. Okay, and now this Microsoft OneNote is a very interesting interactive whiteboard tool. I can assure you, you could write on it, you could draw on it, you could type on it, you could put in your videos, you could put in audios, you could put in links, you could put in materials, upload PDFs, whatever you want to do that you think is going to make your learning or your teaching easy. All of these you're going to see them there on the Microsoft OneNote. And in our subsequent video, I'm going to be teaching us how we can actually activate our Microsoft OneNote and then use it in classes. Okay. And then when you have this Microsoft OneNote, you can share the link with parents, and it's easy for parents to access and see what the child has been doing over time with you as a tutor. So it gives you credibility as well. Okay. That's the second one. The third one I want to talk about is Canva. Canva is a tool that anyone who is in the online space or anyone who is working right now should have Canva, whether on your devices, whether on your phone or your laptop or your iPad, whatever it is, you should have Canva. Now, in Canva, the pro version, you could search for Canva for educators. You will see a lot of materials you could use to teach. I'm not joking, a lot of materials you could use to teach English, math, science, all of them are already prepared you could just take from there and use them in your classes. Okay, so Canva is one very interesting tool that you should have as a tutor. We're going to show that in our subsequent videos as well. Then, if you've watched to this point, please like, subscribe, share, click on the notification button so you get the notification first. Okay, moving forward. Okay, let's go to the next one. Is your presentation slide, please. Please, educators, please, your presentation slide should not be boring. Use beautiful colors. Your presentation slide should not be boring. Just in case you don't know how to use to create slides, you could use Canva to create your slides. Okay, you could use what's it called, the Google Slides. You could use WPS to create a slide. Just get the pictures you want and then use them to create interesting and interactive slides. Your slide should not be boring. Use colors, okay? Especially if you're teaching younger learners, the ones in KS1, KS2, use interactive colors or colors that are attractive just to get their attention and keep them with you, okay? So again, it's easy to get other slides that are already made based on what you want to teach online. It's easy to get these slides online. What do I mean? You could go on Google. Maybe I want to teach pronouns, types of pronouns. I could go to on Google and click on types of pronouns PDF. Okay, or sorry, types of pronouns PPT. That's the presentation, and then you see presentation slides of what other teachers have done and uploaded on Google, and then you could take any one that works for you. You could also use quizzes. So if you go on quizzes and search for types of pronouns presentation, you'll see it come up there. That you could there are tons of them that you could choose from as well. So ensure that these tools are important. Like I said, the first one, you need your Zoom or anyone you could use to hold your meetings. It could be Zoom, it could be Google Meet, it could be Voov, any one of them. Second one I said is your interactive whiteboard. OneNote is always recommended, or I would always recommend OneNote. The third one I would say is your Canva. Get your Canva, you would use it to edit. Next one I said was your presentation slide. Your presentation slide is one thing that I know that no matter what happens, you could use that to teach. Okay, and then the child will be able to understand easily. And finally, the last one I want to talk about is your games. Please use the games that you have to use are educational games. Don't just go bring it up any games. No, whatever game you're going to use should reinforce what has been taught. Games like Kahoot, Blue Kit is my favorite because my children get to steal goats from me and I get to steal from them, and then you could hear them rejoicing and happy about it and all of that. Blue Kit is usually my favorite, my go-to. So as an English teacher, I use School Report again. I use quizzes, Quizlet is good for words and vocabulary. Word Wall, I love their anagrams on word wall for spellings, and there are other ones that we could use. So in subsequent videos, we're also going to look at other tools that you could use as an English teacher or still as a math teacher. Okay, okay. So as an online tutor, we're going to look at other things that we could use to keep your students interactive or relating with you or engaged. That's the word, to keep them engaged. Okay. So thank you for joining me on this journey today. I hope you learned something new. And please, if you did, please click on the like, subscribe, and share button and turn on your notifications. So every time I post a video, you get to receive it first. Okay. Thank you very much. I'll see you in our next video. Bye for now.